Recording in progress. Okay. So yesterday we started to automate the SoapUI part, and today we will continue the same. Okay. So again, I'm saying that whenever you want to use my API for your testing purpose, so every time you will open your system, just you have to open the NetBeans again, and every time what you have to do, you have to deploy services, because when your system will be shut down, your server will be shut down. So every time you have to do this thing. Pick any service student web application, click on deploy. Is it okay? So this is the practice. This is the usual practice when you open your system. Now we have started automation of the API, and yesterday we created a project. We have created the project with the name of, tell me what was the name of your project? 17th batch. Right? So yesterday I told you that you can start, I'm just making a recap how you can automate the thing. A SoapUI service, file, new SOAP project, and just put the WSDL here in the WSDL field, and in the project name you have to choose any name. Like I have given the WSDL path, I have given the WSDL path, and in the project name I have written 17th batch SOAP service. Then I click on OK. Then it shows this web service binding and every operation which is available in your SOAP service, that will be visible here. And you can test it manually. How you can see that it will generate a sample request for you. And here in the sample request, you can put some data. And like yesterday we put Murtaja, some age, and you can say subject, and then click on this run button, and it executed. So in this way, you can perform the manual testing. Then we have seen that if we want to perform an automation testing, what we have to do, we have to select the project and right click, and I have to create a new test suite. So test suite we will create. So test is just like a structure. It is just like a structure. Means we are saying that this is my test suite. Within the test suite, you will see you have to right click and create new test case. So within test suite, you can create multiple test case. I have taken the example of one test case like create and verify student. Now, when you expand it, you will see that here you have to create the steps. Whatever steps are required to perform the test of create and verify. So in create and verify student, what will be the first step? Tell me. You have to call the create component so that you can create a student. Then you will verify that a student is created properly or not. Yes or no? So for this case, we have right click on the steps, and we have used so many steps here. So actually in the SoapUI, you have to learn these steps, that how you can utilize this step, how you can use this step to automate your scenario. So first thing I've told you yesterday, whenever you want to use any operation, from your service, from your WSDL service, select the SOAP option. Here you give the name of the request, whatever request you want to perform, and when you click on OK, you will get all the operation. So what operation you need for your testing purpose, what is needed in your test case, whatever operation is needed, you can choose it. So yesterday we created a step. What was that? Create student. And the create student, we choose the option add student. Yes or no? This is clear? Say yes or no, this is clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so because we were talking about the automation, so we have seen that in the manual testing, this is the request part, and we always try to put some data here manually. So this time we are doing the automation. We are not going to disturb the request part. We will keep it as it is. At runtime, our input data or test data will be set in this particular node. And how it is possible? In this case, first of all, we have created a properties file. So here, because it is a UI based tool, so we don't need to create a properties file like we have created in Java, a new file .properties. It provides or create the properties file in the form of options. So you will create this option properties and just give the name of the property. You can say option which name you want to give to your properties tab. So I give the name student properties, and in student properties, you can create your variable. Okay, and in the same time, right side, you can put their values. Anybody have any doubt in this? Yes or no?
Yeah, Pradeep. So this should be order wise, right? First, we have to put the name only, and then age.
No. It doesn't matter. You can put it, and you can see. I can change the. You can say sequence. Age is name, because you can say it. You can assume it. It is just like a test data file which contains some variables and their values. Getting my
Okay,
point?
so how these properties will map to the data, actual data? I was
That is
confused. Yeah.
that is next step I will show you. Okay, so this
Okay.
part is clear. This is your properties step. This is your request step. Now you have to find a way so that your data should be copied from, your data should be mapped from this variable to this place, so that runtime name should be placed here, age should be placed here, and subject should be here. Yes or no? So for this purpose, I'm
Yes.
going to use the add step. I'm going to add a step that is called property transfer. And it is very, very important step. So here
One second, Pradeep. If we have multiple data, if you want to verify for multiple data.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that if you want to verify for multiple data, in that case, this option is not applicable. In that case, I will show you, you have to use a concept that is called data. That is called data source. And in the data source, you have an option to select data from the Excel file. I will show you that also. Is it okay?
Okay. Yes.
Pradeep, somebody is waiting. I think Priyanka or somebody messaged in the lobby.
No, I'm not able to see here. Anybody is waiting?
Okay.
No, I'm not able to see.
Okay.
Waiting to be. Yeah, waiting to be. So let me write. Please ping. I will add you. Okay, right. Please try to join. Okay. So I will do one thing. Yeah. So here I have to show you one thing. Step by step, I'm telling you. This is property. This is create student property. You can see API part. So how I can do this? So I have created a property transfer step. So I'm giving a name here so that you can easily identify. Create property transfer. So in this system, you will see very interesting thing. What is the interesting thing is that here you can configure your data transfer, that your data should be transferred from step 3 to the step create student. Is it okay? So how it is possible? Just see left side. So left side, what you have to do? Why she's not trying to ping? Okay, so here you can say one by one you have to write a transfer step. So first step you will click on this plus. Are you able to see this plus one? So at a time you can transfer, you can make a setting to transfer one value. Getting my point? So I'm giving the name of name transfer. This is just like a setting. This is just like a setting. Is it okay?
Okay.
Pradeep, there is still some confusion in this actually, like why we are using the transfer. Just first, if you can explain that.
Yes, I'm saying that we are using the transfer because we're okay. Let me connect. Am I audible properly?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying that first of all, clear this thing. This is your test data. This is your test data stuff where all the test data is there. Yes or no?
Yes.
And now the thing is that this is a create student is the step where actually you have to use this data. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now, if we want to do it manually, we can do it. We don't need a property step. We directly write it here. We directly write it here in the name part. We can write Rashmi. In the age, we write the test data 21, and in the subject we can write the recession. Yes or no? So, but the thing is that we are writing automation, so our test data will be separate from our this request part. Now, if it is separated, so we need to find a way so that this data should be pulled from here and should be set in the request part in the respective fields. Are you getting my concept? Yes or no?
Okay, so you mean without this transfer, this data will not be pulled. The
Yes,
test data will not put.
so
will
we
be
are
pulled in the.
yes. So we are because we don't want to perform it manually. We want to make a setting that whenever you change any data in this property, automatically it should pick from here and should be set here, right? So in this case, we need a step that is called property transfer. So I will show you this thing. So let me
Okay, one
it.
question, Pradeep, one confusion. Okay,
Yeah.
so even if you don't use the property transfer, it will transfer the data for the one time only, correct?
No,
or no?
it will not. It will not transfer the data because reason is that step 1 is separate, step 2 is separate, step 3 is separate. If you are not going to make any connection, these will run individually. Are you getting my point?
Okay. So yeah, the mapping will happen actually.
Yes, actually you are trying to write a setting, or you can say a mapping. That's why I opened all the three, you can say, pop-ups in front of you. You will see what I'm going to do. So here you can see in the first, I can write a transfer here. So I am reading a transfer add. So at a time you can write a mapping of one variable. So I'm writing a mapping for NAME, name transfer. Is it okay?
Okay.
So when I click on name transfer, right side you will see it. Let me little bit make it little bit big, because it is little bit, you can say, let me minimize it. I don't need it in a big way. Let me put it here also, and let me focus here. Now you see in the name transfer, this is first mapping setting. So now tell me, for the name transfer, from which step you have to pull the data? What is the name of the step? Create student properties. This is the name of the step. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in the source, you will get an option. You have to choose the source from where you want to pull the data. What is the name of your step? Create student properties. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, when you click on the create student property, automatically in the properties section, it will populate all the properties available there. Are you able to see age, name, subject?
Yes.
So which property you want to pull? You want to pull the value of name. Select the name. So now what it will do? From this step, it will pull the value of name. Now what is the target? Target means where you want to send this data. Where you want to send data, or where you want to set this data. Are you getting my point? So in the target step, what is the name of your step? Kis jagah pe, from which, in which step you have to set your data? First of all, create student. Yes or no?
Yes.
आपकी स्टेप का नाम है क्रिएट. Now when you click on property, you will see it will show you domain, password, username, request endpoint, and auth type. So here you have to understand that in the create student step, you will say, I told you yesterday also, in this step is actually divided in two parts. Left side part, this step is divided in two parts. Left side part is known as request, and right side is known as response. So actually tell me one thing, which property you have to access? You have to access the request part or response part? First of all, you have to access the request part. So in the property, you will select request. Now you have got the access of request part. Means you have got the access of this whole part. Now in this whole part, tell me where you have to set the value. You have to set the value in particular this node. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Because there are name node, where there is age node. Yesterday I told you in the XML, these are called nodes. These are called nodes. Name node, or you can say tag, name tag, age tag, subject tag. And here you can put the value. So you have selected the step, you have selected the required step. Now what is the third step? Here it is important. In the source it was not important, but in target it is important, because whenever you are selecting a step which contains request and response, so your request and response is actually a content in the form of XML. Yes or no? So in the XML, if you want to access any particular node, you have to use a concept that is called XPath. Getting my point? Aapko in this host XML, if you want to access the particular node, this part, you have to use the XPath of name. So that's why in the path language, you will select the option XPath. You got the XPath? Now tell me, what is the XPath of name? So now the easiest way to write the XPath, / name. Yes or no? This is the name of the tag. It is little bit similar to the HTML tags. जो आपके HTML के tag होते हैं उसी की तरह होता है. That is not exactly the same, but actually it is using the same format. उसमें भी tag होता था. Yes or no?
Can you repeat from the path language, please?
Yes. I'm saying that in the path language, why we are selecting the XPath? Because the thing is that when you access the request part, this whole request is actually a XML format. Is it okay? This whole request part is written in the form of XML. This is all XML. So in the XML, this is whole XML. You are interested in a particular node or particular tag. Getting my point? You are interested in a particular node. आपको interest किसमें है? That the value should be set here. So if you want to set the value here, you have to read this file in the form of XPath. So you are telling in the drop-down path language, I have to use XPath. Means whatever I write, XPath, I write it here. you have to select that node. So here I'm writing the XPath of name. What is the XPath of name? आप मुझे बताओ. This is the name of the tag. So how you write the XPath? अगर आपको remind हो, this was the syntax. This one, tag name, yes or no?
Yes.
And in the square bracket we use the
Value.
at the rate. So
At
here
the
we
rate.
can, yes, so here we can use, because in the XML there is no concept of, we don't need to use any attribute here. So we simply write the XPath / tag name. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So now you will see, just see carefully. Are you able to see question mark here? Now just see, I am going to run this step here. Only name transfer I have written. So I'm going to test it, how that it is working fine or not. So click on this button, run selected property, and just see what will the impact. Now tell me, right side, are you able to see any changes in the name node?
Yes.
Yes.
Rashmi had added.
Rashmi said. So the thing is that as you have written one transfer at a time, it picks one value from the source and transfer into the, you can say the transfer into the target. So in the same way, you have to write the transfer for other value. Or you want to transfer the age value. So you will write a setting age transfer. Trust me, it is very, very beautiful and interesting in comparison to the Postman. So when you click on age transfer, now in case of age, what should be the source? Tell me, who is going to tell me? Rashmi will tell me. Rashmi, what is the source? Same create student properties tab.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
which property I have to
student
age.
property.
Very good. We have to select the age from the, and target is again is create a student. Property should be request,
Same.
yes or no? And again it should be XPath.
Yes.
Only I have to write the
/
XPath for
age.
age. You guys are awesome. So now I'm not going to run it because I know it is right. So I'm not, you don't need to run it individually. We run it individually to check it. Okay. So now I will write the third transfer subject, SUBJECT TRANSFER. Murtaja, you will tell me in case of subject transfer, what will be the source?
Same. Create student
Create
properties.
student properties.
Very good. Create student properties. Property will be subject.
Subject.
So because you are using create student property and it is not in the XML format, so it doesn't matter that whatever is selected in the path language. Path language is not XML. Path language is only XML when you are selected properties in the form of XML. So your create student property is not XML. So you selected the simple property. Now in case of target, create student. Yes. Which property? Request. And request is in the form of XML. So you have selected XPath and here write the XPath of subject. SUBJ.
Subject.
Okay. Now if I click on this one, so here it is very important that this you are writing the XPath. So it is case sensitive. The subject which is written here, same should be written, same. It should be same something like this. It is also case sensitive. Agar aapne yahan pe, if you are written in the small, in the request it is written small, in the target you have written the capital, it will not work. It is XML is case sensitive. HTML was not, but XML is case sensitive. Getting my point?
Yes.
Chaliye. So now
Yes,
you will
sir.
see. Now you will see. I have just
Yes,
do
yes.
this thing. So the thing is that if you want for testing purpose, if you want to run it, you can run it. If you are confident, don't run it. Simply close it. So now how many steps you have written here? You have written, you will see, you have written, let me close all the steps. You have written 3 steps, create a student property. Now you have written the second step, transfers, and third step is already create a student. So now what is the beauty of automation? It contains 3 steps. You will see, you have to simply run this, the whole test case. Double click on the test case. It will open the window of test case. Simply click on this run button. So what it will do, automatically run step by step. 1, then 2nd, then 3rd. So the things will be very, very quick. Let me run it. Are you able to see it is running the step? If you want to see the log, you can see the log here also. Let me show you. Are you able to see the logs here? Step 1, step 2, and step 3. Yes or no?
Yes.
And if you want to check that whether it is working or not, why it is automation? When step will run automatically, it contains the data. In the second step, you will say one by one, it is transferring the data. And last step, when it transfer the data, it will automatically run. Now you don't need to run it individually because it is running as a part of test case. Now just click on it. It put all the data, yes or no?
Yes.
And you can see
Yes.
in the response, you are getting the response, yes or no? You can see here, it has generated the ID 2934. Yes or no?
Yes.
So here
Pradeep,
you
can you
can see.
repeat that response
So
again? Yeah.
again, I'm saying, simply I'm saying that whenever you are configuring any steps here and you are running the whole test case like this one, so all the steps which are running in it automatically run one by one. You don't need to run it individually. When you are running whole test case, it will do automation. Now, why I'm saying it is a small automation. Now, suppose take the example, you want to run the automation with some other data. So you don't need to do anything. Simply go and change your test data. I want to change the data, suppose 22. And in place of Rashmi, I want to write Rashmi G. And in the subject, suppose I want to write soap. So you will see, simply do this thing, close it. And what you have to do, simply run the whole test case and just see the beauty. See the beauty. It again run. Go and check your logs. You can check your logs that it is running fine or not. Are you getting the same data? Just see here. It is request. It is response. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So it is a small automation. Now think about that. If you are trying to do this thing, I know that you will say, Pradeep, still why, how you are saving the time, because the reason is that I will simply do this thing. I will put some data here, and when I click on, it will also work. So I'm understanding that you have separated the test data and the step separately, but still it is not saving the time. Now I will show you that how you can make this automation better and save the time. Now tell me one thing. In this case, when you are going to run this thing, you got some data in the response, but how you can be sure that definitely this data is saved in the database with this ID? You will go and check the database. Yes or no? Select star from student where ID equal to 2935. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 I can give you the another. You can do this way. I will show you that how you can do it automatically with the database also. But I can show you another way. How? Just see here. In this step, you can add another step after the create student. What is the step? You have an option in your API. What is that? Get student by ID. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now you
Let
can
me
do one
have
thing. Yes, tell me.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm saying that in your API, you have a get student by API. So why you are not taking the benefit? Two things will be happen. This operation will be tested and your whole scenario will be completed. Create and verify student. So when I will add a step, see what will happen. Again, click on this optional button, click on OK. Now tell me one thing. In this step, why we added this step? So that whatever ID is generated at runtime in the response of add student, I will copy it here and paste it here and see the same data is coming. Yes or no?
Yes.
We can do it. Same thing we can do. Just like in the response of previous, I will copy the data of the ID and will paste in the request of get system ID. If again I will get the same response every detail. So it is a double check. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
These
we
things
can.
we should do manually, right?
No. This you will do also automatically. Just see here. Again, you will add you have added this thing. Simply again, after the create student, just add other property transfer. Yes. So every time you are making automation, again, this time I will say, get student by ID property transfer. Click on OK. And just see what I will do. And this time is very interesting. I want to check one person who think that I am very, very logical. So just see, I will make a transfer. So everybody know from where I have to pull the data from the response of create student. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So actually this time my source is the response of the create student step. And from the create student also, I have to pick the data for ID, not any other field, not the data, this one, result. No, I'm interested in this one. So this is my source. And what is target? In the get student ID, the request part and ID is my target. Yes or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Why? How I can do? Just simply see. I am going to make a transfer after create student, add, and giving a name ID transfer. So now this time, who want to try with me that what will be the source? Tell me, what will be the source?
Response. Source
First
will
of all,
be
step
Create
is
student.
Create a
create
student.
student.
very good. Create student is the source, and within the create student, this time
Response.
Response.
you
Response.
guys are awesome. And because it is a response, in the response will also be in the XML format. So this value will be XPath.
Expand.
Yes or
Okay.
no?
Yes.
You guys
Yes.
are awesome. So in the source, what is the XPath? You got the
ID.
whole XML, or you are interested in the ID value. So what is the XPath of ID? //ID.
/ID.
So you have configured the source. Now what is target? Target is, what is the target? Get
Get
student by
student by
ID.
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 Very good. Or you will say property is
Request.
very good, because this time from the response of any other request, you are pulling the data and sending in the request of other. Again, it is XPath, yes or no?
Yes.
Now, in the get student ID, what is the name of the node? What is the XPath of the node you have to use? Just
Okay.
see here. Again, it is also ID. It is case as same you have to use. Just see, I'm passing it here. In the get student ID. So same it is there. Now just do it. I'm not going to check it. I'm not going to check it. You will see when you close it, automatically it will do whole automation for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. You want to run everything? Don't do anything. Simply go to the creator student. Just modify your data. You have already modified data. Let me check here. Already I've run. So I can show you that with the some data. So let me change only the name. So this time I'm changing the name Niveda. 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 I have changed the data. Close it. Simply double click on the test case and run it. You will see it will run all the steps. Are you able to see the log?
Yes.
You will see. Now tell me, if you are going to perform this thing manually, you can tell me that at least it will take 2-3 minutes. Why? I will tell you. How you are going to perform it manually. In your case, at least I know that you will use this step. Yes or no? In this step, you will write some data. Then you click on green button. In the response, you will get ID. Then you copy this ID manually and paste in the get student by ID. Yes or no? And then you click on this green button. But now tell me, you have to do this thing. No, you simply change the data, run the whole test case, and you can check the log. It is running properly. Create a student step. It was just like a property. Go and check the property transfer step. You can check here also, and you can check here. I can show you both sides. Now tell me, in the property transfer step, you can see here, age transfer, yes or no? Are you able to see name transfer Niveda, age transfer 22, subject transfer soap, yes or no?
Yes.
Go to the create student. Tell me. Are you able to see? It put all the data, yes or no? It put the data Niveda 22 and same time it called the API. Got the response, yes or no? 2936, yes or no?
Yes.
At runtime, it go to the step test, automatically transfer the response ID 296 from there. And where it put the data? In the get user ID. So tell me you are getting the response, yes or no?
Yes.
And trust me, if you want to repeat this step manually, at least you will take 2 minutes because you have to run two things. What you have to do? You have to use this step to change the data. Then you click on, then you got the response ID. You have to copy it and then use the guesswork. I have do one thing. I have make this configuration. Only you have to change the test data. Yes or no?
Pradeep, one thing like it's been going. If I want to run for like 10 records at a time, like say it goes for Rashmi, then Niveda, then Pradeep, then Yogita.
So that's again, I am saying I'm late at 12. Currently, I'm telling you about the single set of data. I will come to that point also. Okay, I'm telling you.
Okay,
So,
sorry.
yes, I will come
So
to that point.
Pradeep, I want to ask one thing.
Yeah,
Like
please.
for every operation, like create a student or get student by ID, these are the operations, right?
Yes,
For
these are the operations.
operations. For every such kind, we are making the properties, and accordingly, we are making the property transfer also
Yes.
for this
Yes. So
operation.
Yes, so that we can make our life easy. We are actually trying to make a sequence of step. Yes or no? So we are trying to make a sequence of step that it will pull the data from properties, then will send in with the help of property transfer. It will set the data and create a student part, create a student, automatically run the API, run the operation, and will get the response. From the response, I have written this get student ID transfer. So it will pull the data from the response and will set it here. So I'm writing it.
So if we have to club some more operation into this, then we have to make accordingly the property transfer.
Yes, so I will show you that so many things are possible. So the thing is that if you want to put the data from some third place, are you getting my? You want to keep separated your step and the test data. You have to use the create student properties step. If you don't want to keep separated, it's your choice. So, but the standard says you should keep separated your test data from the test step. That makes sense, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
You can see here, because somebody asked me this thing, Pradeep, whenever you want to set some multiple, you can say different type of data. So actually you can see that I'm not touching this thing manually. I am not touching this thing manually. At runtime, it is pasting the value, or you can say putting the value here. Yes or no? With the help of transfer, because I've written a mapping. Getting my point?
Yes.
So I've written, so this is the small transfer. Okay, now I will show you other interesting thing. What is the other interesting thing? You can do one thing. Here you can make the validations. Here you can make the, because you have written a small step. Now we'll show you the validation, because without validation, what is that? Without validation, your test case doesn't any mean. अगर आपके test case में कोई validation नहीं है, pass or fail नहीं है, तो these are just like a flow of steps. Yes or no?
Yes, exactly.
So you have now what type of validation you need? Because the thing is that I have made a thing that in the get student by ID, in the response, I'm getting this data. So when I'm calling this thing, so how I can make validation that my create student and every flow is working fine. I can verify this data that when I'm pulling the data with the help of this ID, this data should be matched, which I've used in my test data create student properties. Yes or no? Because initially we started with it, then it saved the data.
Yes.
I pull the data from the ID. I pull the data from the ID, this one. And this was the data which I've used for testing. So when I'm getting the ID and it is sending the data from the DB with the help of operation get from ID, it should match. Yes or no?
Yes.
So how you can see the value? Now you don't need to validate. Ab aapko dekho, if you are making a validation, you have to make it manually. 2936. It is coming 2936. It is Niveda. It is subject soap, and let me verify from the test data which I've taken. Oh, it is same or not. So we doing it manually. Yes. Now we can show that how you can do it automation. So in that case, go to the student by ID step, and within the same step at the below you will see option that is called assertions. Are you getting my point? You will get the option assertions. So you every time, like in the Selenium, you use the assert function. Here they have given everything in the form of assertion. So now you have to understand that how many type of assertions are there. I have given you one example to verify the value. Okay, so in the yesterday session, I told you that you should verify this thing also, that this node is exist or not. Your age tag is available in the response or not. Agar age tag hi nahi hai, so you will get the value? No. So first of all, verify age is available in the response or not. Getting my point? Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
So actually so many type of validations are there. So I will show you one by one few validations. Like I'm going to add click on plus button and you will see there are so many validation steps are there. So first I will show you the very, very important and very, very easy. Contains. Anybody know? What do you mean by contains? क्या मतलब होता है contains का?
Whether it has that particular text or particular value
yes.
or not.
Yes. So actually what is the benefit contains is actually you can say it is a very, very vast, you can say assertion, and it is very, very good assertion. Only depends how you are going to utilize it. I will show you this thing. So contains, actually what contains do, in contains, in this contains assertion, it will check in your response that whether some text is available or not. So it contains it checks the whether some part of your string is available in this response or not. So in this case, contains, the whole thing is not treated as a XML. This whole thing is treated as a string. ये कैसे मानता है? Contains क्या मानता है? इसको आपका ये structure क्या XML का है? Result है, student है. But first of all, tell me, when I say that what is this whole thing? This whole thing is also first of all a text. ये पूरा text है कि नहीं? देखो ये text ही तो है, which is written in the form of XML with the help of tags. But still, this is first of all a text. Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you getting my point? आप क्या बोलते हो? आप किसी नोटपैड में मैंने डेटा लिखा. If I saved at .txt, क्या सेव नहीं होगा? होगा. But now it is treated as a text. When I save some data like .xml, this file will be treated as a XML. Getting my point? Yes or no? So my first assertion says that you want to check some contains. Yes. So tell me one thing. Yesterday I told you, is there any text which I can identify in this response which can tell that response is proper? Can I verify this text? Yes or no? क्या मैं कह सकता हूं अगर मैं ये टेक्स्ट चेक कर लूं कि इसमें मेरे रिस्पांस में कहीं ना कहीं अवेलेबल है, इट मींस माय रिस्पांस इज वर्किंग फाइन. यस और नो?
Yes.
So in this case I can use simple assertion. This one, property contains. In the contains, the put the text which you want to check. So now it will check that this text, the whole text is available in the response or not. When this whole text will be available, your test case will be passed, otherwise it will be fail. Now you will see. You will see by default it is showing you pass. It is showing green. Yes or no? अब आप इसमें कुछ भी करके देख लो. Let me show you. अगर मैं इसमें से successfully में, I will do one thing. I am removing the completed. Just see. I am saving this assertion. It is showing failed or pass. So this is why I'm saying that this is assertion is very powerful, and this is not very powerful because it totally depends on your scenario. Now tell me one thing. In this whole text only will available when in the response ID will give the response of age, subject, and name. Yes or no? You can see here. If manually I put any other ID which is not available, you will get the response. I'm putting ID 38. I'm clicking it manually. Just see what is getting in the response. क्या मिल रहा है response में? इसका मतलब, can I say this thing that whenever I want to check a positive scenario, I simply say that if my response contains this text, it means I got the proper response. Yes or no?
From where we need to copy this response, Pradeep?
You don't need to copy this response. When automatically, when your step will run, this response will automatically appear in the right side. है ना? आप मैनुअली जब इसको करते हो, लेकिन ऑटोमेशन से क्या होता है? इन द ऑटोमेशन ऑटोमेटिकली दिस स्टेप रन, ऑटोमेटिकली सेंड द रिक्वेस्ट एंड गॉट द रिस्पांस राइट साइड. यस और नो?
यस.
ठीक है, तो आई कॉपी दिस थिंग. अब देखो मैं आपके सामने ऑटोमेशन रन करता हूं. करंटली इट इज शोइंग फेल, है ना? क्योंकि व्हाट आई हैव रिटन हियर, योर ऑपरेशन कंप्लीट सक्सेसफुली शुड बी द assertion, एंड करंटली आई चूज द 2938. लेट मी रन द होल ऑटोमेशन. फिर से रन करता हूं आपके लिए, जरा देखना फिर से. This time it will pass or fail. It will pass. Reason is that I am running the whole automation. I am running the whole automation. So it will change the, it will again run each and every step. It will save the data. It will go to the database, then create the ID, and you will see automation pass. Why automation is pass? Validation is true or not? You can say validation is true. You want to check? Just go and check it here. Why validation is true? Because we are getting this message in the response. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So this is one validation. Yeah, tell me.
Yes.
Okay. Now you can see, you can add so many assertions. This is one assertion. Now in the same way, they have provided you a assertion that is little bit opposite of it. Contains means it should exist. Not contains means it should not exist. Not contain का मतलब क्या होगा?
Sorry, Pradeep. I didn't get this assertion thing.
Okay, I'm saying that the purpose of this assertion contains means in this assertion you can put any text, and this text it will check in the response. This text it will check in the response. If it will find the text, your test case will be passed. Otherwise, your test case will be considered as fail. Not getting?
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. What you are not getting, tell me.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like we need to add the assertion, right?
You need the assertion and you have to give the text which you are expecting in the response.
Okay.
Okay, so you are
This-
expected, yeah, your
Ah,
expected text will be available, your test case will be considered pass, otherwise fail.
Okay, this content, no, it's from the response only we will be getting, right? This content.
Yes, and from the response, you will only copy the content when you got the positive scenario. It is because this thing is that in your document, it is written that your sample response should be in this way in case of positive scenario. Yes or no? आपके document में लिखा होगा that in case of positive, you should get some data result and the value of result should be your operation completed successfully. Yes or no?
Yes, yes. But Pradeep, will you recommend to run at least manually once, to check the response so that the complete suit doesn't get failed?
Yes.
Because maybe
that's
there
why-
is some wrong information in the requirement document.
Yes,
Or
so that's why I'm saying that always whenever you are creating the automation, in case of Selenium also, what is the first step? First of all, you have to verify that manually it is working fine. If manually not working fine, you should not create an automation for that. We always create the automation for a stable one. Yes or no?
Yes.
yes,
अगर आपका stable, आप मुझे बताओ, your login is not working, how you can write an automation for that? Because it is not running properly. So how you can tell? Suppose you have created automation with the help of your scenario. I will click on this, click on, but your flow is not completed because currently function in every case, your valid case, it is not going to the welcome page. In case of a wrong credential, it is not going to. So how you can verify? आपका ऑटोमेशन तो तभी बनेगा जब प्रॉपर एक फ्लो तो चल रहा हो, चाहे पॉजिटिव हो चाहे नेगेटिव. यस और नो?
Yes.
Why we always say that automation is for regression? Regression means once you have released the feature, it was working fine, and when you release in any new version, when you work on any other feature, your existing feature should not be disturbed. That is the purpose of regression. Yes or no? Everybody know? आपको
Yes,
पता है
yes.
regression testing किसको बोलते हैं? What is called manual testing, functional testing, and regression. Feature testing is called whenever a new feature is introduced in your application, you test it manually. When manually it is satisfied, then you write an automation so that in the future any new feature will be added in your module, so we can check whether it is going to impact the old one or not. That is the purpose. Everybody know this is very important question of the interview, that what is the purpose of automation? Regression testing, है ना? You can't create a automation testing for the new feature. अरे जब नया feature, when new feature is introduced, जब तक आप automation नहीं करोगे कैसे रन करोगे? So it means first of all, the first step to run it manually. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now I am going to add other assets, and this is just like a same. Okay. It is saying not contains. So if you go to the property contains, you will get option not contains. Now tell me what you understand from the not contains. When I'm saying that I'm adding a session not contain. So what do you understand by not contain?
That it should not contain this any of the type, any of the text
Yes.
or any value.
Yes. So I'm just. So it is something like that. I'm saying that if this text is not available, you can assume your test case is passed. Yes or no? You can assume it that your test case is passed. You can assume it. Yes or no? So now tell me,
Yes.
what in your case, what text you should put it here that should not be available in case of past scenario? Tell me one thing. When the ID is not exist, you will see there is a message, something like that. What is that? This one, yes or no? So can I say this, that if this message is not available, then also your test case can be, I'm not saying 100%, but you can assume it that your test case is pass. Yes or no? अब ये मैसेज तो तभी आएगा जब आईडी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती होगी, और जब आईडी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती होगी तो ये मैसेज अगर नहीं आ रहा है तो वी कैन अज्यूम इट इज पास, और इफ इट इज कमिंग इट मीन टेस्ट केस इज failed. Yes or no? So I have shown you that. So this is something like that, to say something like that. हम बोलते हैं ना, अगर ये हुआ, if this is the case, I will assume pass. If it is not the case, then I can assume the test case is pass. So something like that. Yes or no?
Yes.
But I will suggest you that you should always use contains, because contains means you are giving a particular condition, and in the not contains you are not giving the particular condition. क्या it is not mandatory that in case of failure you are getting this message also? हो सकता है आपके सर्वर में प्रॉब्लम हो, ये मैसेज की जगह ये आए ना? It is possible. Yes or no?
Yes, possible.
I can show you the
Server
scenario.
not reachable, something. Yeah.
Yes, you can see something like that. आपने क्या किया? You have disturbed the request. देखो मैं क्या करता हूँ. मैंने I have disturbed the structure of ID. मैंने I just remove the angular bracket. Are you getting the response? This one, no. You are getting the exception in response. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
And you
Yes.
can say why it is passing the not contains. क्योंकि not contains के हिसाब से तो pass है ना. Because it is not able to wash or able to find this text. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
तो लेकिन इसीलिए मैंने क्या बोला? Due to this reason, it is not a good assertion. क्योंकि देखो आप कैसे बोल रहे हो? You are saying something like contains मतलब it should be exist in your case. If it is exist only pass and not contains में अगर ये ना हुआ, अरे अगर ये ना हुआ तो उसकी जगह कुछ और भी हो सकता है जो नहीं होना चाहिए. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that's why
Yes,
I'm saying that if you are using this thing, you have to make sure, you have to be very, very conscious. Otherwise, I will suggest you always go to the specific. Yes or no?
Yes. So Pradeep,
Yes.
can we use multiple contains condition and multiple not contains?
Yes,
together?
multiple. I will show you. I'm removing this not contain. I told you about this, but I recommend don't use this. I will show you multiple also. Let's see here. You can see contains is this thing. Now I can show you one thing. And now go to the XML part. First of all, let me make it okay. But it is usual practice. Please don't try to disturb this one. Okay, because if you disturb anything here, it will not automatically resolve. Right? Because you are not touching it manually. Now I will show you one thing. Now let me go to the old one, existing ID. So now you have asked me, Pradeep, can I make multiple assertion? Yes, you have checked this condition. We can add one more assertion. What do you can check? We can check one thing also. We can check this one. This is also treated as a text, age, ID, name. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I can check this thing. One more contain assertion. And here you can see, because you are adding more than one, so automatically it is suggesting the name contains one. You can give a meaningful name. What is the meaningful name? You can say contains age. Yes or
Age.
no? आपने एक
So we
meaningful
can
नाम दे
use
दिया.
any and or logic here.
I will show you, not here, but for that purpose you have to use some other thing. Okay, I will tell you that. Okay.
Okay.
Now click on OK, and here you can write. मैंने क्या लिखा? I want to check this age. Even you can write this whole thing. This one, this, because this is the best way to check. अगर मैं केवल age लिखता हूँ, तो age का मतलब क्या होगा? Age तो कहीं भी हो सकती है. It is because it consider whole thing as a text. लेकिन अगर ये पूरा text में compare कर लूँ, तो I know that this whole text is written in the form of XML. अगर ये पूरा text की जगह लिख रहा है, इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं वो XML का tag है. Getting my point? Yes or no? So I make it positive. Yes or no? Getting my point?
Yes, yes.
So in this way you can make it pop. अगर आपको, if you want to use, you can use in this way also. You can use how? You can use it simply without bracket also. लेकिन क्या है, उससे फायदा क्या है कि it will treat it as a age. अब क्या होगा, अगर ये age इसकी जगह कहीं इस मैसेज में भी लिखा होता, if the age is written in this message also, like your age something like, maybe you can consider कि किसी भी स्पेलिंग में age ही लिख के आ रहा है. Are you getting my point? यहाँ पे इस मैसेज में अगर कहीं age भी लिख के आ गया, so it will consider as a age. हमको कंसीडर करना था, it should be something like a node tag. तो स्ट्रिंग में नोड एंड टैग, हाउ वी कैन राइट इट दिस वे. देखो ये करेगा उसे एज ए वैलिडेट एज ए स्ट्रिंग, लेकिन हमको पता है फॉर्मेट किसका होता है, नोड का. यस और नो? ठीक है. सो बट आई विल गिव यू द स्पेसिफिक वैलिडेशन वेयर यू डोंट नीड टू राइट दिस वन. You simply tell that I want to check the age node. Okay, so how you can do? Let me go to the next assertion, and your next assertion is known as XPath, and it is very, very powerful. It is very, very important because it is the actual assertion. अब देखो इसमें क्या assertion करना है? In this assertion, actually in this assertion you can verify the things on the basis of XML. ये क्या treat करता है response को? String की तरह नहीं. It treat the response just like a XML. Getting my point? तो आप इसमें अगर कोई एक्सप्रेशन लिखते हो, so how you can write expression? What is the XPath of age? अगर आपको चेक करना है age. So here I told you, in the contains and not contains, it consider the right side response just like a string. But in the XPath match, it contains, it consider right side just like a XML. तो XML में validation कैसे करोगे? उसका XPath लिख के. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I have written the XPath age as /age. अब इसमें हमें करना क्या है? We can check two things. If we want to check the existence of node, हमको चेक करना है कि age नाम का node वहां पे है कि नहीं. So we are checking the XPath. Are you getting my point? हमको चेक करना है कि XPath वहां पे है कि नहीं है. So in that case, you have to use this thing. You have to wrap this existence is this node in a function that is called exists. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes. Exists and doesn't exist. Two
Yes.
things. Okay.
Yeah, actually, there is no function with the name of not exist. Okay, here we have only one function exist. Getting my point? So, but how you are going to verify not exist? Simply say that in this part you have to write the expression. Like now, tell me when this expression will run, it will return true or false on the basis of your node. Yes or no? Agar node exists karta, it will return true, otherwise false. Yes or no?
Yes.
And in this expected result section, actually you have to write your expectation, that what you are expected, your result should be true in your pass case or fail. So if I'm writing true, so runtime, it will calculate this one, and the value of this one calculate runtime will be matched with expected result, and both are same, your test case will be pass, and otherwise test case error will be fail. Getting my point?
Yes.
So now you will see run time पे जब इसको evaluate होगा, आपको पता है in my current scenario it will be pass, it will be written true, this is true, this is true, test case will be pass. Just see here, ये तो ऐसे ही पास बता रहा है, आपको रन ही नहीं करना है, फिर भी आपको रन करके आई एम एबल टू शो यू रनिंग फाइन. यस और नो? अब अगर सपोज टेक द केस, मुर्तजा वाज आस्किंग प्रदीप, सपोज टेक द सिनेरियो, मेरा एक सिनेरियो ये भी तो हो सकता है कि आई एम नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस फील्ड, दैट इज माय पॉजिटिव सिनेरियो. जैसे यस्टरडे आई हैव गिवन द एग्जांपल ऑफ पासवर्ड फील्ड, दैट माय पासवर्ड शुड नॉट बी, पासवर्ड फील्ड शुड नॉट बी अवेलेबल इन द रिस्पांस. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Correct.
तो कैसे चेक करेंगे? I will write the XPath exists password, but my expectation is, what is expectation? It should be false. Yes or no?
Yes.
ये नहीं होना चाहिए. So I am saying that exist when it run, it should match with my false. अगर मेरे केस में क्या होगा, देखो मैच कर गया कि नहीं कर गया? मेरे रेस्पॉन्स में क्या पासवर्ड नाम से कोई फील्ड है?
नहीं है.
So it is passed. अगर देखो, अगर क्या होता, मैं एक्सपेक्टेशन लिख दूं true, so my test case will be fail. Because I am saying that this exists, when this exists run or response, it should, देखो fail हो गया.
Yes.
So actually you have to do this thing. In the exist, you have to write the existence of any field. Like you can write the existence of age. What is your expectation? True. अगर आपको लगता है false होनी चाहिए, false कर दो. ठीक है. अच्छा, एक बेनिफिट ये है, आप चाहो तो करंट सिनेरियो चेक कर सकते हो. कैसे? यहाँ पे आप मत दो. अगर आपको चेक करना है, if you want to check this thing, that in the current response, because when you are writing a validation, by default some response is behind the scene. ये response है ना आपके पास. If you want to check that what is the current scenario of the response, click on this button, select from the current. तो जो current scenario में true और false है वो आपको दिखा देगा. True आ रहा है?
Yes.
So it is giving you a suggestion. मतलब आपको एक टेस्टिंग दे रहा है कि करंट में ट्रू है कि नहीं. अदरवाइज यू हैव टू राइट इट अकॉर्डिंग टू योर रिक्वायरमेंट. आप इसे ट्रू चाहते हो, यू वांट इट ट्रू, यू वांट इट फॉल्स, यू हैव टू राइट इट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
ठीक है. सो आई विल सेव इट. तो देखो, यू कैन राइट मल्टीपल एक्सेप्शन. तो इसका नाम देते हैं, लेट मी मेक इट, रीनेम इट एंड मेक इट मीनिंगफुल. हम इसका नाम क्या देते हैं? एज एक्सपाथ मैच. ठीक है. और ऐसे हम वी कैन राइट एक्सपाथ फॉर other things, like we can write XPath for, I will give the example of, we can write XPath for EXISTS and write XPath of name, subject, whatever you want to write, NAME. Getting my point? Up now, what is your expectation? Your expected result is should be true or false. आप बताओ, आपकी सिनेरियो में क्या होना चाहिए? आप यहाँ पे ट्रू. आप ट्रू लिख दो. अगर आप ट्रू फिलहाल ये देखना चाहोगे व्हाट इज द करंट सिनेरियो, तो आप क्लिक कर दो, तो आपका काम हो गया. ट्रू भी आ गया और वो भी आ गया. अदरवाइज यू हैव टू राइट इट मैन्युअली. देखो सेव करो. अच्छा, इसको भी लेट मी रीनेम इट. what should be the name here? Because with the name of assertion you should know ये कर क्या रहा. I will write name XPath. Getting my point? So here we are validating the node. ये नोड अवेलेबल है कि नहीं. नाउ वी आर गो टू द वैल्यू. वी विल गो टू द वैल्यू. कैसे वैल्यू पे जाते हैं? इट इज वेरी वेरी सिंपल. सेम यू हैव टू यूज द XPath assertion, but this time the benefit part is that you have to use simply age. आपको कुछ नहीं लिखना है. By default it will then when this is executed it return the value. जब ये एक्सप्रेशन आप अगर कोई फंक्शन यूज नहीं करते हो तो विदाउट यूजिंग एनी फंक्शन इट एक्चुअली रिटर्न्स द वैल्यू. तो वैल्यू क्या रिटर्न करता है? देखो, इफ यू वांट टू चेक आपकी एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू क्या है एज की, आप मुझे बताओ. व्हाट शुड बी द एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू?
22.
ठीक है. आपको देखो बेनिफिट मैंने क्या बताया था. इफ यू वांट टू डू इट सिलेक्ट फ्रॉम करंट, करंट से टेस्ट करो क्या दे रहा है. 22 आ रहा है.
Yes.
लेकिन अगेन आई एम सेइंग दैट it doesn't mean that you have to click and 22 and you have to write. You have to write your requirement. आपको लगता है कि आपके डेटाबेस में इसकी वैल्यू expected is 23, तो आप 23 लिखोगे. So at run time it will match. If it 22 is getting and expected is 23, it will fail. Yes or no?
Yes.
You are getting my point.
Yes.
So in this way you can write multiple assertion. In this XPath you can write. If you don't write XPath match, right? Validate. You can write some any name. Validate age value. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Validate age. You can write validate age value. And here I'm writing a name XPath. You can also get, rename it properly like validate age node. Validate name node. Yes or no? तो जो भी
Yes,
आपको
so Pradeep, I want to verify the values against what I entered in the properties.
Okay. So I'm showing you. So currently you are doing this thing and you can also do that thing also. How you can do? Just let me show you. Very very important. That is very good. Murtaza, you always try to ask very very good question. Okay. So let me do this thing. So here the thing is that it is true false. So you don't need to do is you are asking about the age value. Okay. This is your expected value. Yes or no? And now the thing again.
Yes.
You ask very very good question. Actually you are writing in hard coded. Yes or no? अब मैंने इसको 22 लिख दिया. ठीक है. अब मुझे थोड़ा पता है कि रन टाइम पे 22 आएगी 23 आएगी. Actually where is my actual test data? My actual test data is
Properties.
very good, Murtaza. This is my. So actually I have to validate my age which is written by the response should match with this value. Whatever is this value. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So here you will see very interesting thing. Go to the assertion part and you don't only write here hard coded value, you also write an expression here. कैसे expression लिखेंगे ध्यान से देखना. Right click on it and you will use option get data. In the get data, actually you are writing an option to select the get data, means at run time it should get the data. So you have to get the data from create student property step. Yes or no? आपका वही data है ना? तो right click get data. Are you able to see the step name create a student? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Go and
Yes.
select the name. नहीं age चाहिए. Click on age. You will see it will write an expression. एक expression लिख दिया इसने.
Yes.
अब
Yes.
run time पे this what it expression will do? It will actually fetch the data from the this system.
Properties.
But I will tell you very interesting thing. This get data is feature is not available in free version. Every place it is
Yes.
not available. Now the problem is that Pradeep available nahi hai. You are teaching me the pro version. How I can do it in the free version? Because every company is not ready to buy the paid version. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 So I will tell you very easy thing. You can write this expression by your own also. How? What is the way of writing? Just see here. Let me copy it here and show you that how it is generated. You can write it by your own. Let me show you. So whenever, just think about that. It is something like that. First of all, whenever you want to pull any value from any place, by default write this thing, dollar and curly braces. Is it okay?
Yes.
And in this, what is the first thing you have to write? First of all, you
The
have to
name of the
select
properties file.
the name of the step. It doesn't matter
Step.
you are using property step or from where. आप इस expression से ना response से भी data उठा सकते हो. You can pull the data from the response, but you have to follow the hierarchy. Name of the step. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
What is the name of step? Tell me. Don't Don't see here, just see. This is the step name. Yes or no?
Yes. Create
Yes.
student
You have
properties.
written the student name. So I'm writing the step name. You have done the step name. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now within the step name, this is the step name. And when you go to the step, this step, within this step, it contains 3 properties. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So whenever you want to enter into the one down level, create a student is one step. You want to enter within this step, use a symbol hash. Getting my point?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
when you enter the hash, it means when you enter the hash, it means in this step you have entered to the this part. Getting my point? In this part you have access of all the 3 properties in which you are access. Just write the name of that. I am interested in age, so I have written AGE. Getting my point?
Yes. So if you write nothing, then it will show an error, or it will
If it in this
verify all.
case it will verify not all. It will return the all properties in the form of text. Getting my point?
Okay.
ठीक है, आपको मैं शो भी करके दिखा दूंगा. Now you don't need to depend on the provision. आप अपने आप लिख सकते हो. अभी मैं आपको और दिखाता हूँ. Let me show you, because this is very easy. Everybody understand. I will show for the complex one also. Now first of all let me run it. देखो, it validation is working or not. It is dynamic, yes or no? So let me save it and let me run it. मैं यहीं पे run कर रहा हूँ दोबारा. I am only running this particular step. ठीक है? I'm not running the whole test case because your purpose is to verify the validation. Now go and check. You can check here. Validation is fail or pass?
Pass.
Because at runtime it is returning the value. You can't see here, but you can check in the logs also. How you can check the log?
If I want to fail this test case, what I will do? I cannot change the properties in between, right? Like not to match with the properties.
No.
Results.
Because reason is that when you are running the whole test case, these are you can say run in a sequence. Are you getting my point?
Yeah. So
अगर
there is no
अगर
way
आप
to achieve a negative scenario where we cannot match the result with the properties.
मैं आपको एक चीज कर सकता. अगर देखो, you can't fail it in this way. Reason is that this same data you are using for creation purpose and same data you are validating,
Yes.
so it will never fail. Yes or no?
Yes.
लेकिन मैं आपको फेल करके कैसे दिखाता हूँ. I will make a fake variable here, age 11. Getting my point? और यहाँ पे मैं लिखता हूँ 56. अब देखो मैं क्या करूंगा. I will make a validation. In the validation, I am writing a path in assertion. क्या लिखूंगा मैं? I will write age 11. So it will validate with the age 11, which is 56, and response in the response. Definitely you will get the 22. Yes or no? Fail हो गया? Fail हो गया?
Yes.
And you can see the validation also here. In case of pass, it will not show you any message. But in case of fail, are you able to see age expecting 56? Actual was
22.
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
I will take extra fees from the Murtaja because Murtaja always try to ask the good questions. ठीक है Murtaja?
Yeah.
Joking. Okay. So okay.
Because I am negative tester, that's why I do negative testing.
That and negative tester is always a good, because positive thing means everything is fine, and we are the tester. We are always paid for the bugs. Yes or no? हमें bug के पैसे मिलते हैं, हमें positive के नहीं मिलते. Positive है तो वो तो हमारी जरूरत ही क्या है? जिस दिन every software is bug free, we will lose our job. So pray to God, every software should have some good bugs, and we should be able to identify. ठीक है? Okay, let me come back here. So everybody is getting this thing, yes or no? Everybody is getting this thing that you can write the XPath by your own way. Now I will show you. This is the easy one. I will show you. I will check your intelligence also, that you are able to find my scenario, that you have to write the step, then property, then. I will test your scenario and I will show you very, very good scenario also. Let me remove it. I will come to the session part. Before that, I will come further session in the next session. Before that, let me show you one important thing. Let me show you one thing also. in the create student. Okay, here we can also make assertion. Yes or no? अभी मैं assertion कर सकते हैं, yes or no? है ना? We have made
Yes.
assertion on get student. That is because my requirement was fulfilled on that case. But if you want to make a validation, you can make a validation in every soap and rest step. जिसमें soap और rest step होता है, केवल उसी में validation है. In any step like property transfer, you will not get the validation. अब देखो यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक interesting चीज दिखाता हूँ. You will tell me. I'm making a assertion XPath match, and I want to validate I want to validate this ID. This ID I want to validate with my suppose hard-coded value. I want to this, but I want to write the expression here. Okay, so now tell me what is my expression should be here. I want to validate this ID. I want to validate this ID. Or let me do one
Yes.
thing. Don't write
XPath
it.
here.
Okay. Sorry. Don't write it here. The best example will be here. Okay. So I am going to make a validation here for the ID. Add. And here I want to make a validation that whatever ID I'm getting in the response of get student by ID, it should be matched with the ID which is we are getting in the response of create student. Getting my point?
Yes.
मैं इसे I can validate with the help of property step. Property step से भी देखो मैं कर सकता हूँ. But this time I can check with the property step. But I want to verify from the response. So I want to check that how you can write the expression. देखो कैसे लिखते हैं. Expression कैसे लिखेंगे? This expression is very easy. I want to verify, so I will write a ID. Is it okay?
Age. ID. Okay.
ID. यहाँ पे आपको मुझे बताना है क्या expression लिखूंगा, मुझे बताओ. I want to fetch the ID from the response of create student. If you have followed this rule, tell me you can write it.
$create student hash ID.
No. देखो बिल्कुल. You are in the right direction, but I will show you. देखो कैसे $. इसके बाद मैंने क्या बताया था? First of all, go to the step. क्या step है? Create student. ये step है. ठीक है? तो create student step पे लिख देते हैं. लिखते हैं create student. Copy paste करना. That is a good practice. Create student. This is done. Yes or no?
Yes.
इसके बाद we have to go into the one level down. What is the second level of student? Create student is actually divided in two parts. Request and response. Yes or no?
Yes.
यहाँ पे direct property नहीं होती है. So it means first of all you have to hash and go to the request. Yes or no? चलेगा request में. Then you have to again hash, because within the request again you have to go into the XML part. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Then ID.
And in the XML part you have to access the you have to access the response.
Response.
तो यहाँ पे response लिखना है. Sorry. लेकिन आप request लिखोगे, you will get the control of request. RESPONSE. अब response में you are going to the one level down. Level down चलेगा, what you will get? The whole XML. Yes or no?
Yes.
You are interested in ID, so write the XPath of ID. / ID. Yes or no?
Yes.
अब आपको मैं दिखाता हूँ कि मैंने जो बनाया है, how you can trust on me कि मैंने सही बनाया है कि नहीं. You can check. Go to here and I will show you with the help of wizard. दिखाऊं? देखो. Go to here. I will add here. आपके लिए मैं wizard ऐड कर रहा हूँ. I'm going to write it ID और यहाँ पे wizard लिखता हूँ. Right click, get data. क्या स्टेप था? Create student, response and this ID. Yes or no?
Yes.
क्या बनाया इसने? अब आपको ये जो बनाया है, it is because it is created from the response. तो आपको ये बहुत बड़ा बनाया है. आपको मैं सही से दिखाऊंगा. इसमें you can remove the useless things. क्योंकि मुझे आता है था तो मैंने useless thing remove कर दी. अभी दिखाता हूँ आपको. This step is same match कर रहा है मेरे से.
Yes.
Response is matching same. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now it is declaring something. आपको declare नहीं करना है. This everything is already declared in your SoapUI. तो declaration part को remove कर दो. मैं आपका declaration part remove कर रहा हूँ. जहां तक remove हो रहा है मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ. It removes the declaration part. Is it okay? Remove हो गया. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now you will see. इट इज राइटिंग द एक्सपाथ ऑफ आईडी। ये आईडी का जो एक्सपाथ लिखा है, इट इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम ns2। आप देखो ns2 इज देयर, यस और नो? दिखाता हूं आपको। इट इज राइटिंग द एक्सपाथ फ्रॉम हियर, ns2 ये दिख रहा है।
Yes.
इसने एक्सपाथ क्या लिखा, ns2 स्लैश रिटर्न डाउन, ऐसे करके एक एक चाइल्ड लेवल पे जा रहा है, यस और नो? आपको देखना है, लेट मी शो यू। मैं कॉपी करता हूं तो आपको दिखाता हूं।
Yes, yes.
एक्चुअली इट इज
It is
गोइंग
going
टू द,
as per DOM.
यस आई विल शो यू। चलिए इसको यहां से हटाता हूं, मैं आपको दिखाता हूं। नाउ टेल मी, आई वांट टू राइट द एक्सपाथ ऑफ आईडी। ये कैसे लिख रहा है, ns2 से स्टार्ट किया स्लैश स्लैश ns2, ठीक है। देन इट गो टू, इसने पूरा लिखा इन ns2 दिस होल थिंग, गेटिंग माय पॉइंट। देन इट गो टू द रिटर्न, यस और नो? देन गो टू द स्टूडेंट, देन गो टू द आईडी। आप मुझे बताओ इस पूरे इन दिस होल XML आईडी एक्सपाथ इज यूनिक, ऐसा यस और नो?
Yes.
तो आपको ये
Yes.
सब लिखना ही नहीं है, यू कैन डायरेक्टली राइट कि मुझे पहुंचा दो स्लैश स्लैश आईडी, यस और नो? आपको
Yes.
लिखना ही नहीं है। आपके लिए जब एक ही, अगर यहाँ पे एक से ज्यादा आईडी होती देन यू कैन राइट 2 or 3, बट इन योर केस 1, सो दिस इज एनफ। व्हाई यू नीड टू राइट द होल वन, यस और नो?
Yes.
तो अब देखो, जो मैंने आपके लिए बनाया था इसने भी वैसे ही बनाया, बट इट मेक इन द कॉम्प्लेक्स वे, आई मेड इट इजी। नाउ चेक वैलिडेशन इज वर्किंग और नॉट, कि प्रदीप ऐसे ही बोल रहा है। देखो आई एम डूइंग द सेम थिंग हियर, कॉपी पेस्ट इट फ्रॉम हियर and paste it here. ये देखो, it will work. You want to check? Save. Or we can do one thing also. Save it and run this validation again. It is passing or not?
Yes.
और अगर आपको ये देखना है
Yes.
पास में, तो बता ही नहीं रहा है कि वो वैल्यू रिटर्न क्या कर रहा है, क्योंकि पास में है। आप इसको ट्रिक लगाओ, क्या इसको फेल करने की कोशिश करो, अपने हाथ क्या कर देगा, ये सही दिखा देगा, है ना? तो आपको दिखाएगा ना दिस इज एक्सपेक्टेड एक्चुअल। तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, ये क्या करता हूँ, आई विल डू वन थिंग, यहाँ पे मैं आईडी की जगह लिख देता हूँ क्या, एज। गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? ये निकालेगा एज
Yes.
और ये निकालेगा आईडी, तो मुझे
ID.
गलती से ये दिख जाएगा कि क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है, आईडी क्या निकाल रहा है। जस्ट सी हियर, देखो इट वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग 2937, इट मींस मेरा एक्सप्रेशन सही है, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज रिटर्निंग 2937, यस और नो? ये एक्सपेक्टिंग
Yes.
कैसे निकल रहा है, इसी एक्सप्रेशन से तो निकल रहा है।
Yes.
So this is
Yes.
my, so it means my expression is right. So I told you the easiest way to write the XPath, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
तो आप दुनिया का कोई भी लिख सकते। अगर इसके बाद भी कुछ होता, एक हायरार्की होती, आफ्टर दिस आईडी सपोज XML, अगेन राइट हैश, yes or no?
Yes.
So you got the idea, and trust me, when this feature was launched in the paid version, everybody was very happy. अरे यार मुझे एक्सप्रेशन लिखना नहीं पड़ेगा। मैंने कहा एक्सप्रेशन तो बहुत आसान है, समझ लो, you don't need the paid version.
Correct.
Getting my point? Chale, you have made, now tell me your whole, now let me first of all make it simple. Now tell me, trust me, if you are going to make this whole automation by manual effort, it will take so much time. कितने validation कर लिया आपने? Yes or no? Yes or no? And you want to run automation, what you have to do? Simply, this is your whole test case. Open this whole test case, and before that, only change the test data at one place. Only change whatever you want. 29. Here I will write Deepak, and you will see I don't need this one, है ना? ये तो मैंने आपको उसके लिए पर्पस किया, तो आप चाहो तो डिलीट कर दो, रखे रहोगे, it doesn't matter, but I will remove it because I'm not using it. चलिए अब देखो, केवल टेस्ट डेटा चेंज किया, 1 मिनट में you have clicked on this one. Whole automation run, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
And you can check the logs. आप लॉग चेक कर लो, एक एक स्टेप यहाँ पे लॉग में लिखा है, in the this part, this step run okay, this step run okay. If you click on this one, it will show you कौन कौन सा डेटा इसने ट्रांसफर किया है, दीपक 29 सो। You go to here, और सबसे बढ़िया लास्ट स्टेप में देख लो ना, सारा काम एक साथ हो गया। If you have a doubt, सब कुछ वही आया, yes or no? 2938 रेस्पॉन्स में आया, yes or no? Click on expert assertion. बता रहा है सारे के सारे पास हैं. Yes or no? Fail होते तो log में ही आ जाता. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
तो देखो आपको लग रहा है if you make an effort for this type of automation, कम से कम मैनुअली आपको मैं बताऊं 5 से 10 मिनट लगेंगे. क्यों? आप यहाँ पे you will get the response. आप एक एक को चेक करने जाओगे ना प्रॉपर्टी स्टेप पे या डेटाबेस में जाओगे. यस और नो? बट हियर यू हैव कॉन्फ़िगर्ड एवरीथिंग. यू हैव कनेक्टेड, यू हैव मैप्ड. जो टेस्ट डेटा बनाया है वही आपका एक्सपेक्टेड डेटा बन गया एंड यू हैव डन. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? ओके, एनीबॉडी हैव एनी डाउट? And in the next session, we will learn very, you can say interesting thing. In the get student by ID, you in the validation part, you can do the validation manually. ऐसे आप ऐसे भी कर सकते थे. You can use this ID and go to the database to find the data and match the data with this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
You don't need to go to the database. You can make a step to configure database and make the validation. That is called JDBC request. In that case, what will happen? It will fetch the data from the database for the same ID, and it is getting the response from the get system ID and will make a validation. You are validating from the database without going to the database. Getting my point?
Yes.
So we will learn this thing. Trust me, this is very powerful. And trust me, if you have learned in a proper way, Postman is nothing in front of the SoapUI. SoapUI जो है के आगे Postman, तो it is. I will only say this thing that SoapUI is just like an ocean and Postman is a drop. Getting my point? तो आपको अगर free version मिल रहा है, तो why you are using the Postman? Go and promote in your company that I have a better option to use the automation of API in comparison to the Postman. I will use that one. Second limitation, in the Postman, directly you cannot test the SOAP-based web services. Postman is only used for REST API. Getting my point? But SOAP can do both the things. Is it okay?
Yes.
So we are going to bind the session. If anybody have a doubt, you can tell me. Otherwise, we are going to bind the session. Please revise all the 3 previous sessions. All the 3, trust me. Again, if you revise only this particular one, you will be in the trouble. Start from the first one where we have configured. Now you can relate the thing. This is the configuration of API. In the second, Pradeep told some query about the Prachi, Murtaja, everybody. So actually that discussion was giving some understanding what is actually API, what we are trying to test here, what is visual. And in the current session, we have seen the proper implementation. So I will suggest if you have seen the video, again, try to watch the video 1, 2, and 3. Now,
So Pradeep, now we have completed this SOAP part or automation?
No. We have completed only the SOAP REST part. I will show, SOAP-based API part. I will show you the automation of REST also. Getting my point?
Okay. So this SOAP request and REST request. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And one more thing is like Pradeep, I wanted to ask, like, see, this is one single test case for one data. Now we have like 2,000 data, 5,000 data in the database. So how we will be taking? We'll taking it from the Excel or
Yes, and that I will show you in the next session. It will take only the SOAP API part. For that purpose, you have to use a step that is called data source, and we will learn that how you can use the data source step. Let me show you. Here you can pull the data from one of these ways, Excel, database, but we are going to learn only Excel. यहाँ से आप Excel से data उठाओगे, and that data you will map with the help of property transfer. Data source से data उठाओगे, property transfer से क्या करोगे? अभी currently you are doing the data mapping between properties and step. This time the mapping will be data source to create student. Student properties will be replaced by the data source. Getting my point?
Yes. And we will also learn this load testing also, right?
Load testing, I will show you that. But the thing is that I will not prefer to load testing because we are going to cover the load testing part in your syllabus, that is called J meter. Why the thing is that
Okay.
load testing, actually load testing is introduced here because the thing is that it is something like that when you go into the market, there is a marketing strategy that they sell you can say a packet of a namkeen that cost 300, 1 kg, and they say that when you buy it, you will get a Parle G or Tiger biscuit of 5 rupees. Yes or no?
Correct. Yes.
So यहाँ पे this tool is basically created for the functional part of the testing. लेकिन उन्होंने कहा अगर you with the help of little bit effort, अगर मैं यहाँ load testing का एक option दे दूं तो क्या जा रहा है? Yes or no? But this tool is not it's specially created for that. You will go to the market, कोई ये नहीं बोलेगा load testing का. अगर somebody will recommend, they will always prefer. भाई, if you want to go for free version, open source, always go for JMeter.
Yeah, JMeter only we use.
And in the JMeter, you can go do the first functional testing, but nobody recommend you. Again, the thing is that because in this case, this is the namkeen packet and load testing is the biscuit. And in case of JMeter, actually biscuit is the JMeter and namkeen is the small packet. So every tool has its specification. Getting my point?
Yes.
Again, I've given you the example, my funny example. In your kitchen, you have a spoon and you have a serving spoon. Now it's your responsibility which is best for you.
Yes.
Your scenario is that when you are serving something, you should use the serving spoon, and when you are eating something, you should use your teaspoon.
Eating.
Right?
Correct.
So यहाँ पे भी क्या है, आप load testing देखोगे, it is very, I will show you, it doesn't matter, because I will show you that if you want to perform it, you can perform it in the same way. Okay? But it is not as much powerful in comparison to the JMeter.
Correct.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so these two things we will cover in the next session, and please revise, because next session is again connected to this one. Again, you have to use the property transfer. Again, you have to use the data source. Again, you have to use the validation. Few validation I will also tell you. Few validation assertion are pending. So if you will revise, then you understand. Okay, and second thing I will request, I'm not able to confirm that everybody is revising or not. So please, again, my request, whenever you are watching the video from the YouTube, you can put a comment. Can I expect this one?
Yes, Pradeep.
Yes.
If you don't want to write so much, you don't need to write so much good words. At least you can say that, oh, it is good. That is okay. Don't write a whole story. That I am not expecting. Getting my point? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night. Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Sir, 1 second. Can you upload the same thing in shared folder as well in the drive?
Yeah, actually, I will show you one. Let me stop the